Hi, this is Inform TV 100. We are in the Shipwreck Museum, and it gives a lot of history of St. Thomas and the ships that sank because of the weather conditions. These are the vessels that the workers who worked on shipyards used to put their food and the things that they needed to survive. This is an olive jar, and they would quite often store food in. Also, these were before the invention of planes, trains, and automobiles, the world's ocean was efficient, and the only means to transport food, luxury, and all the goods. Everything that was found on the shipwrecks were statues from Rome, olive oil, fish sauce, just lots of things were found on these ships. And when they referred to a shipwreck, they were ships that were sunk, not necessarily by pirates. And these are some real artifacts that were on these ships. Inform TV 100. This is a replica of the Republic. This was a ship that would leave New York after the Civil War to try to help with the economy by delivering items, but it sunk because of the bad weather conditions. And these are some of the items that was found on that ship, the Republic. Religious artifact, coins. After the Civil War, they were trying to rebuild the war-torn communities, so spirituality was very important. And these are some of the things that were found on these ships. Bottles. Telescopes. These were authentic telescopes that were found on these sunken ships. And this is silver, and I was told this weighs about 70 pounds. These blocks of silver were on this ship. It's a really nice museum. These were crystal beads that were found on this ship, and these ships were from the 1800s. The Republic was from 1865. And then there's a little history of the Virgin Island. According to this, it was discovered in 1493 by Christopher Columbus, and caused what he believed to be the largest island of the group, Virgin Gorda, the Fat Virgin. The Spanish claimed the islands by discovery, but don't settle in the remote territory. 1607, John Smith visited St. Thomas on his journey, where he set to establish an English colony in Virginia. 1650 to 1660, ruled by the English, Spanish, French, and Knights of Malta. Dutch traders established Dutch reform. There's governor occupies Eric Smith, St. Thomas, 1672, 3 months after leaving Denmark. The population of St. Thomas includes over 700 settlers, and slaves were here combined. That's a lot of history here. 1803, King Christian VIII abolishes the slave trade. Danish West Indian Company buys St. Croix from France in 1733. It's a really, really a lot of history here. Yeah, early settlers were here 1700 BC to 1492. Nomadic people subside by hunting, gathering, and fishing. Yeah, 1671, the Danish West India Company is set up by the king to found forward settlements and plantations near St. Thomas. So they do have a significant history here. 1840, with the rise of the steamship, St. Thomas becomes a coaling station for ships running between South and North America. So we were, in 1902, the Danish government opens negotiation with the United States and a draft treaty is agreed. St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix are under U.S. naval rule until 1931, when the first civil administration is appointed by President Hoover. U.S. Department of Defense acquires the water islands for $10,000. The U.S. Department of Interior takes control of Water Island in 1950. So this is really a lot of interesting history here. So we're gonna go shipwrecks in the Virgin Islands. So this is Virgin Island, St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix, shipwrecks in the Virgin Island. There are hundreds of shipwrecks around the Virgin Island.